But here in a couple of days, we've got, of course, the big heavyweight fight. We'll transition to there. The Vladimir Klitschko, Ruslan Chagaev, the IBF and WBO heavyweight titles of the world on the line there. Both guys had their opponents cancel. Yeah. And this is where we find ourselves in, and both fights that were canceled were weaker fights than the fight that is happening, and I think that's what there's a lot of excitement, and as much as excitement as can be in the heavyweight division.
This is good.
This is good. So hopefully, it's again free. It's good. It's free. It's on ESPN Classic at 2 p.m. on Saturday, the 20th. Just here in a couple days, and as we are now close, we talked about this fight in the past. Where do we see it? Where do we see it going? How does it happen? And what transpires?
Well, like I was telling you earlier, I think they were both training for a similar guy. Klitschko was training for a smaller guy with power, a younger, smaller guy with power, and he kind of gets that in Chagaev. And then Chagaev was training for a much taller guy. I mean, even taller than Klitschko. And how do you pronounce his last name?
Chagaev.
No,
Valuev.
Valuev.
Right.
I think Klitschko gets the edge because and Chagaev are probably closer in style and skill. I think Klitschko is far superior than Valuev. I mean, same size, but honestly, I think Klitschko is probably going to throw out quite a few jabs, drop the right hand every now and then, just let him know that if he does try to advance and get inside, he's going to get hurt. Slight chance I think Klitschko could possibly get knocked down. I think you mentioned that. Maybe early in the fight, third or fourth round. But ultimately, I think he's going to win this fight. Unanimous decision is how I see it happening.
Yeah. The edge goes obviously to Klitschko, not just because of who they've been training for,
experience,
but the experience. I mean, he's gone through the highs and the lows. You know the beer pal?
Yeah.
He's again unofficially sponsored by Newcastle.
Yeah, hope to hear from him.
The one and only. But again, he's got the experience. He's been through the highs and lows. As I was saying, this is the best competition that he's fought in probably the last 5 fights, and I think that's why we were excited to see. Because got big mouth, but not a lot of substance.
He's got power. He had some speed.
He has power,
he's a smaller
he
guy.
fought Monty Barrett. You see that. Golden Boy Promotions is his promoter, and on a Ring magazine a couple months ago, earlier this year, it's explodes on the scene, and he beat Monty Barrett, for Christ's sake. He's not exploding on the scenes just yet, and he cancels out of Klitschko. That might have been the biggest mistake he's made career-wise. But if you really,
we'll see.
If he did, we'll see. But right now, you would have liked to kept that fight, but. Anyway, back to the fight that's happening. I think, again, Klitschko's seeing a guy that is of higher caliber than he's seen in the last couple fights. My thoughts on the fight are that you're going to see a determined Chagaev come out.
Hopefully. A lot of guys get deterred once they
true.
They can't get inside, and then they're just fighting from the outside, taking jabs all night, avoiding the big right, and it's a boring fight.
And I hear you on that.
I hate to see that.
Right, and I hear you on that. But you remember, I think he's hungry. I think he also has been in this situation where he's fought, the Valuev. He's fought some of these bigger guys. Most of the guys he fought are not of Klitschko's height, but they're bigger than him. And he's an undersized heavyweight, and as being a successful undersized heavyweight like he is, he's a guy that has learned probably to get in there. And I've seen him fight. He's got a great jab. I haven't seen him fight extensively, but again, he's won, and he's his last fight. I think he got cut, and he won on decision in the later rounds. But another big, tall guy that he got inside of. I see maybe Klitschko again, even though he's Klitschko, maybe not being used to again the higher caliber of fighter that Chagaev is, and maybe even getting caught early. However, I do see that. He picks himself off the ground, he gets up, and he wins a decision, a unanimous decision.
So we can kind of see it the same way.
Kind of see it the same way, definitely. And but hey, I wouldn't, I wouldn't think it was crazy if Chagaev caught him and stayed on him and kept him down, and he won. You know, and it was a big upset.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to how determined is he, how bad does he want to win when he gets in there with a guy that has speed, skills, a great jab, and a big right.
Yeah, and
I mean, how bad do you want to get inside? How bad do you want to try to land your punch?
Well, yeah, and you know, kind
And
of
most guys don't have
talking about
that.
that determination. You know, that was exactly the kind of element that was missing from Claudio in that fight. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, that determination. You know, he was able to stay in there and
show he
you know,
can't get hurt, but he didn't show he
but
can
exactly
hurt the guy or
other
win.
guy. Yeah.
So hey, you can't hurt me. You know,
Yeah.
you're scoring points, but you know I'm still here, and you know I'm losing rounds. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's going to be a good fight. Again, glad that it happened, and you know, there's been some other cancellations in boxing, and you know, no real good result, but this is a good one.